Hi, I'm Hailee, and I'm going to show you how I apply my Jamberry nail wraps. I do a cold application, which is a little bit different than what you'll see in some of the other videos. I have longer nails, and so this works really well for me. And I also have curved nails, so I do a pull and stretch method with my cold application, and the combination gets me my best results. So to start out with, I want to just touch on nail prep work because that's really important to making your jams last longer. What I do is I like to put a strengthening base coat on. You can even put it on a couple hours or even 24 hours before you put your jams on. I like to put it on so that it just gives it a stronger base underneath so my nails don't break or get brittle. I also like to use my Jamberry cuticle oil to make sure my cuticles are pushed back and ready for applying jams. You can trim and file, make sure your nails are ready to go. The last two things that are really important for me is I take my Jamberry nail buffer and I like to buff the top of my nails to make sure that they're kind of a little gritty, and that helps the wraps have something to stick with better. And I feel like they stay a little better doing that. The other thing is that you want to make sure and get all the oil off your nails right before you apply them. So you can use an alcohol prep pad, or you can use a cotton ball and rubbing alcohol. Either one is just fine. So I'm going to do my pinky finger. You can see I've put a couple jams on already. This is the Confused Canvas wrap in the matte, and I am really excited about trying it out. It's really pretty in person. So we're going to go ahead and put a wrap on my pinky finger. So I'm going to clean it off here. That. And then I have already sized out my fingers. So this is the one I'm going to use for my pinky finger. It's the smallest wrap size that we have. So what I'm going to do is just separate it here so that the wrap is pulling away from the peel. And I'm going to try not to touch the wrap. And I'm going to grab it with my tweezers here. So you can see I've got my wrap with my tweezers. And then I'm going to come down here and line it up on my finger and get it as low as I can, close to my cuticle. So you can kind of see it's just like really lightly laying on my fingernail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of look at it. I can touch this end because I'm going to cut that off anyway. See all that excess? I use that to make sure it's lining up properly. So I'm going to kind of play with it and get it aligning properly. So you can see it's still really loose on my finger. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put it in front of my Jamberry mini heater so that the wrap can just get a little heat, and it'll make it pliable and moldable so I can pull and stretch it. So it's a little warm, so I'm going to kind of reinforce that bottom edge, and then I'm going to pull up and out on the edges of my nails, and then push down with pressure so you can see that we're getting a really good application. There's not going to be any bubbles in here. And then my heat source of preference is I actually made some rice bags with another Jamberry consultant on my team. So we just put some fabric squares together and filled them with rice. They're just sewn together, very simple and quick. I heat it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to get it really good and hot. And then I'm just going to put my nail on the rice bag. You can also just use your Jamberry mini heater or hair dryer. I've used a flat iron several times before. As long as you have something that emits a decent amount of heat, then you're going to have a reliable heat source for your jams. So the rice bag allows me to do the heat and pressure together, but you can also like put it in front of your heater like this and then use your finger, or you can use a cuticle pusher like this and press your wrap down. So like I'll kind of get in the edges here and make sure and get the tips really good. So you can see I have a good tight application. And now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim off the excess here. So now I have my wrap trimmed down. And I'm going to wait and let it cool really good. Excuse me. I'm going to let it cool really well, and then when it's nice and cooled down, I'm going to take my Jamberry nail file, and I am going to file like this at a 90-degree angle, only going down, and that's going to get the excess off so that it'll have a nice tight seal. And then after I do that, I'm not going to do it all the way right now because I want my nail to cool more. But once I get it filed down, then I'm going to reapply my rice bag and really put emphasis on the tip of my nail so that I can seal this top edge down really well. So that pretty much covers the Jamberry application process that I use, which is the cold application and then heating with the pull and stretch method. I hope that this was helpful to all of my customers and my Jamberry friends. So enjoy and holler at me if you have questions. Thanks.